Straight through the fire, chasing something true, caught in the fire. I can hear you.
Yeah, now you got me out in the deep. Feeling I'll be wrapped around your neck. When you burn me out like a cigarette. Yeah, drifting in the city, no sleep. Don't know where we headed for next. Maybe we should get lost in a sweet escape. You tease me and you touch me, I'm going crazy about it. Keep saying that it's nothing. Tell me what to do. I'm losing all my cool. Feeling like ain't nobody else around us. Ain't nobody else around us. Got me breaking all my rules. It's only me and you. Feeling like ain't nobody else around us. Ain't nobody else around us. Yeah, tell me lies like you mind. Crazy how the time pass. We begin to get high. So what? Hey, no rush, shake. Turn the lights out. Do you wanna level up? Baby, let me fill your cup before we out of here. Do you wanna take it slow? Just let me know. You tease me and you touch me, I'm going crazy about it. You're saying that it's nothing. Tell me what to do. I'm losing all my cool. Feeling like ain't nobody else around us. Ain't nobody else around us. Got me breaking all my rules. It's only me and you. Feeling like ain't nobody else around us. Ain't nobody else around us. Yeah.
I'm a la 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 loner. La 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 la. Every time I try to fit in, it ends up in misery. Yeah, socializing doesn't fit me, but I can get away so easy. I was born a misfit. Don't go with the cool kids. It's all overrated. No, I never missed it. I was born a misfit. Don't go with the cool kids. It's all overrated. I just didn't read it. I'm a la 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 loner. In this world. I'm solo dancing on your party, crazy on my own, but all in. I can feel the eyes all staring, but I don't care about them saying. It's all overrated. No, I never missed it. I was born a misfit. Don't go with the cool kids. It's all overrated. I just didn't read it. I'm a la 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 loner. In this world. In this world.
Listen to the inner voice, don't care no more. I don't know, keep it inside, 'cause listen to the inner voice, don't care no more. I don't wanna keep it inside, 'cause I just wanna.
Hey, hello everybody, and welcome back to another Valhalla Campo live stream. I hope you guys are doing well, but it is Monday night, so we know what that means. We have Fortnite duo builds, and ladies and gentlemen, we have a stack roster of teams that we're going to be watching tonight. We're going to start off with the primary team being Caffeinated Hamsters. The team is composed up of Evan, aka VHCH 13, and Cam, aka Kiki. Our secondary team is going to be SniperTimeTV. That team is composed of Cam, aka the Sniper, and Sean Time TV. And finally, our third team is going to be Famous People, and that team is composed up of Brady, aka BL Maze, and Miko, aka Miko. So as soon as drops get underway, we will obviously tune into the game. You guys know how this works by now, at least I hope, unless this is your first time tuning in, which if it is, welcome. We're glad to have you. You guys know we watch 3 different teams, bounce around in between all 3, try to watch the primary team the most, secondary team the second most, and then the third team the least, or the third most, or however you want to describe it. But yeah, obviously, I'm going to try and find the action. I'm going to try to find things that are going on. Of course, I'm not always perfect, and we will definitely make sure we are bouncing around quite a bit tonight, just to make sure the teams are getting, good screen time, and we're commentating on each game and then see how things are going. 2 of these teams are actually in the same drop. So Caffeinated Hamsters and in SniperTimeTV, excuse me, are both in Division 2. So we might see some interactions going on between those 2 teams. Famous People being a Division 1 team, so we will have both to watch. So any delays or anything happens, we'll be able to bounce back and forth to make sure that there's always content for you guys to watch. Oh, sorry, had to adjust my microphone right there, but sounds like both Div 2 and Div 3 are pretty much getting ready to drop here in about another minute. No updates on Division 1 quite yet. Obviously, their drop code is live at this point, but no expected drop time. So let me just get myself tuned into a game here. I'm not actually doing it. I'm a little behind. Dropping the ball tonight, y'all. It's just you know how it is. We all know how it is. I think I was duped with one of my team numbers. I assume they're in this one. And let's see here. It looks like yes, it looks like this is the team. And ladies and gentlemen, we are actually live. So let's swing over and watch some Fortnite for you. Again, currently starting with the Caffeinated Hamsters. Gonna see how those guys can start off drop 1 in Division 2 tonight. And this was a team that we actually got to see last week. We didn't get to see much of them, though, because of Evan not being here. So now that this team is fully composed, or both members are here, it's going to be really interesting to see just how well they can do. Hopefully Evan's not too rusty as he's able to bounce back from taking a week off from practice. Cam is obviously going to be the cornerstone, the rock of this team. Going to try to make sure that his teammate is ready to go when these guys have successful drops. And it looks like here, we're going to go to a name POI. I didn't quite get to see the name of it, so let's see here as they actually land. No, it looks like actually they're going to drop a little to the side maybe, or a little early, and go to one of these unnamed POIs here. Things going on around them. Currently watching Evan's perspective. He sees a couple people dropping in. Gonna land to the little village here. And actually, someone drops right on the Cam. That isn't, or Evan, excuse me, that is not Cam. So Evan's gonna have to try to loot up pretty quickly here and maybe either take an engagement or get out. Depends on how they want to play this. And at this point, Cam's still not on the ground yet. Cam finally hits the ground, but is pretty far away at this point. And Evan is left stranded. He's going to find a couple big shots there. Only finds one. See if he can prevent the getting of this slurp truck. Or maybe just take it for himself. And he does. He does find a big shotgun shot there. But at this point in a 2v1, although Cam is now here, his teammate comes to back him up. And Cam actually finds a knock. So it looks like the other player maybe trying to get out. Evan's going to take some shots. Can't find any, though. Takes a lot of damage. Survives somehow. Using that retaining wall here as some natural cover. And Cam able to pick up both kills to not only keep his teammate alive, but secure a solid 2 first elims in this drop for them. And what a way to bounce back from last week, Evan not being here. And now they start off this drop this drop 1 with 2 elims. And for the most part, come out of that fight pretty successful. Don't really lose much. Obviously, they lose the ability of the slurp truck there. But both full health, 50 shield each. Obviously, you want to be at 100 shield, so that way you're at 200. But not really a terrible place for these guys to be in, especially having an early engagement. We're going to see, it looks like Cam wants to get in the car here. Maybe a little bit of a miscue there. I don't know what that was, as Evan actually gets hit and takes some damage. He gets launched up into the air, so has to burn a couple minis there to get him back up to 50. And at this point, all of our teams are in. So we're going to continue to watch Cam and Evan here just for a couple minutes. And if they don't find any action, we will, of course, rotate on over. As I think maybe Evan saw somebody. I'm not totally sure. I didn't see anybody. Oh, yes, we do have some engagement going on. Cam, a little separated at this point. Going to try and get back in the car and just get out of this situation here. We're actually going to drive right into it. And we see Cam again jump out. Maybe wants to take an engagement, although Evan's car gets hijacked. And he takes a lot of damage. Looking at Cam's perspective here, still on high ground. But has to be very careful as they finally group back up as a team. But I believe that was a classic GTA, what we saw right there. Grand Theft Auto is they just took oh my gosh, stole Evan's truck and got out of Dodge. As Cam actually finds a big from talking to one of the NPCs. We don't know if Evan has talked to that NPC or not. Although a shot comes through, a big shot lands on Cam, takes him all the way down to 120. Has to be careful now. Although Evan at like 30 health, is it going to have the time to heal back up here though? These guys have to be careful that they don't get pushed early on. Obviously, that team landed a big shot, and that team probably has to know that they have the time to reheal, but could see engagement here as a circle is closing. These guys still not in it yet, and it looks like that's exactly what we're going to see. Evan there takes a couple shots. Cam tries to get a different perspective. And what a combination shot there to make sure that crash pad is destroyed. They can't use it. Other team can't use it to their advantage. Oh, Cam got so close to finding the knock on that one player. I believe hit him like 118 in total, so he has to be low. So we see the chug splashes come through and the shockwave going to come through. Try to get both of the teammates out at the same time. And it looks like they are going to be successful, but now at this point, Cam and Evan have caught themselves in a little bit of a bad scenario here in Storm with seemingly a long way to go. Evan managing to stay out of it, but does take some shots. Cam's still in Storm this whole time, also taking a little bit of damage. Cam's going to have to buy some time and heal here. Just continue to take this Storm damage. Evan now also forced to stay in it, forced to heal up here. Evan takes some shots, doesn't find any, and Cam gets knocked, and Evan is on so little health. At this point, you would expect the other team to crash, and that's what they do, as Caffeinated Hamsters are going to fall into 23rd place. And ladies and gentlemen, just like that, let's swap on over to SniperTimeTV. Our other team that is still alive in this Division 2 Drop 1 so far. A little unlucky there for Caffeinated Hamsters. Definitely not the way they wanted things to go, especially starting early with the 2 good elims there. But I think just got caught in a bad spot, caught in an disengagement, or in an engagement that they probably shouldn't have been in. Should have disengaged a little earlier, but as soon as they got that car jacked, they were in a rough spot all around. But SniperTimeTV here, seemingly in a little bit of a better situation. Although loot-wise, at least from what we're seeing here from Cam, not a lot of great options here. But obviously, we don't know Sean's loadout. Actually, taking a peek in his loadout's honestly not much better. Pretty low rarity. So these guys are really going to have to be careful as we creep into this mid and late game, which we are ever so closely getting to. Yeah, that made sense. And you would expect to see the rotate from these guys soon. And it looks like that's what we are going to see. Ask and you shall receive. We're going to see the chainsaw really come into effect here. We assume that Sean was redeploying with the broomstick, is what it looked like. I'm surprised we're not going to see the take of the car here. Maybe they are anticipating to take the car, just trying to farm some extra mats while they have a minute or two of downtime. Has to be careful, though, because they did see some teams up on that mountain. Now, at this point, they've probably left, but still have to be wary of that. And I was correct. They are going to take the car. I'm just going to use this to make sure they can get in the circle pretty quickly here. I'm not really seeing anybody as they drive around here, at least not that I saw. And at this point, because of the car, they can really just choose the position that they want to put themselves in. Don't know what that item does. The Thorn Ripper looks like maybe a melee weapon of some kind. Maybe a movement item. While these guys farm up a little bit more. Oh, actually, we do see some shots fired behind them. Maybe potential engagement here that we're going to see. And it looks like they're driving towards those shots. We're going to see if they can't third party a team here. So a lot of shots going on. These guys have to be careful here. They need to make a decision whether they want to get out or want to try to third party this engagement. And it looks like the shots have ceased. And with that, we're going to tune on into famous people and see how those guys are doing. Alrighty, again, famous people being composed of Sean and Miko. Or Brady and Miko. Oh my gosh, my brain is just not working on it. I apologize, y'all. Currently watching Miko's perspective here. It looks like we're seeing a little bit of farming up as well. Again, this is our Division 1 team for the night. Actually, the last Division 1 team that we have yet to watch. So as these guys kind of climb through the ranks of our progression system here on stream, I have to make sure to tune back in to keep an eye on this team to see how they're doing. These guys are going to make their way into the circle here. We do see some shots fired. Don't see any people yet, though. You can see them kind of go through this underwater, under mountain tunnel system thing here. So they do find a couple of slur barrels. Actually find a couple more. Anticipate that these guys are going to be able to get to 200. I don't know if that was just a lack of shields that they were able to find or what the problem was. Maybe that was a combat that we missed earlier. So it looks like some builds are finishing up. I don't know if that's a team in here or not. Miko's going to check it out. Brady now going to join him. We see Miko pretty quickly seal that door back up. I don't know if he saw someone. I didn't see anybody, but maybe just wanting to play safe here. Miko's gonna loot up, try to put themselves in the best situation they can be as this circle comes to a close. And now these guys have to continue on their quest. It looks like Miko is ready to go. Brady gonna join him. She's gonna go a little bit of a different way. So Miko's gonna try to get to max all materials. I think he's about 1 medal short, which is a great spot to be in. Pretty out in the open here. These guys need to be careful that they don't catch any stray bullets, especially with the combat we see going on directly south of them at this point. They might actually try to jump onto that. No, it looks like they're going to try and jump around it. Now they really need to make sure they don't catch any stray bullets, because even though an engagement is going on, you never know what you're going to find. Someone lands right below Miko. Miko does catch a stray bullet. Has to kind of flicker his glider here as he finally gets to ground, but does take almost full shield damage. It's going to group up with Brady here. Use all of those chug splashes to get back what he lost in the air. And we're seeing a lot of teams, a lot of action going on nearby. Miko takes some shots. Hits a big 59 there, but gets penalized for it as he gets all the way down to 9 shield. Brady also, I believe, gets cracked all the way down as well. Guys really need to be careful of this position, as they are not completely surrounded, but pretty close to it at this point. Some more shots coming through at their builds. A little window there that Miko edited. We do see the wall get destroyed there, and some footsteps on the visual audio indicator. Now these guys really have to be careful. So it looks like Miko's going to try and get some height here. Brady right beside him. Oh, Miko saw someone. He actually drops down a little bit. Finds a big couple shots there. Only manages to land one, though. And now Brady involved in a fight of his own. Brady actually gets knocked, and Miko gonna fall as well. And just like that, we only have one team left, and it's SniperTimeTV. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand corrected. I believe that was a simultaneous death there. Simultaneous elimination from the drop, as I believe SniperTimeTV and Famous People both eliminated from different division drops just about the exact same time. So a little unlucky we didn't get to see a little bit more of Sniper Time. Obviously hoping that those guys were still alive, but just the way the cards fall sometimes. And now just waiting. Hopefully these teams are going to be able to kind of reset, relock themselves for a second drop. And honestly, I don't even really think we saw bad Fortnite. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like any of the teams fundamentally made an error. Maybe other than being in situations that they probably shouldn't be in. You know, in the case of Caffeinated Hamsters, I think those guys should have disengaged a lot sooner than they did. And because of that, they paid the price, unfortunately. We didn't see how SniperTimeTV died, unfortunately. In the case of Famous People, I think that they tried to put themselves in a better position, and it was one of those scenarios where that actually turned out to be a worse position. obviously getting surrounded, a lot of teams putting a lot of pressure on them, and then they got jumped and just a little unlucky. Obviously, lots of shots fired and not enough hit. So definitely hoping for some better drops in this next drop. But all of our teams tonight falling pretty early. I mean, obviously we saw Caffeinated Hamsters get out at 23. I believe Famous People, we saw their place was 18th. And we have to assume that Sniper Times was probably somewhere similar. Obviously, Division 2 dropped a little earlier than Division 1, so they might have been a little higher up. We might have seen a 15th or maybe even creeping into top 10, but very similar drops all around, very similar placements all around. So I know the teams here aren't going to be very satisfied with those placements, but that's something that they're going to have to really make sure to work on and to really make sure that they're locked going into this second drop to make those improvements. And unfortunately, without Coach Kyle being here, kind of not having their main mediator, obviously their main coach, but Coach Kyle does a great job at seeing problems and really making sure they get handled pretty quickly and making sure the players adapt where necessary, and definitely losing that a little bit tonight. The students are, but I'm sure Coach Kyle will watch this VOD back in the coming week and know what he needs to adjust. So definitely something that I have to keep in mind. And honestly, this is a VOD that I recommend most of the players watch. Something that Coach Kyle has been doing is been trying to encourage the watching of VOD, this VOD specifically. But especially after 3 just not great drops, I would definitely encourage seeing what other teams did wrong. Maybe what you could have done better, really just analyzing the gameplay of all of the teams we watched and seeing what the players would have done differently, what they should have done differently, just getting at it from that player perspective, whether it is you, in the case of Caffeinated Hamsters, SniperTimeTV, or Famous People, or one of your arena teammates. So, very important. I believe our Division 3 team just got eliminated as well. Didn't get to see exactly what place they got, but I believe it was higher up there. Second place, just got the update. Second place, so huge shouts outs to that team, Division 3. Phenomenal job for those guys to get a second place there. And it looks like some of our duos are actually still alive. Unfortunately, we only have these 3 teams, so I can't bounce to any of them for you guys. But I'm just being able. That's one of the beautiful things about being in person. Maybe you guys don't get a lot of awareness to, is that because I cast in person, and I'm sure you guys know because of the shenanigans and noise in the background, but because of that, I'm able actually to look out behind these very bright lights and all of this tech and see things going on. And it looks like at least one of our, maybe, assuming it still looks like they're in drop, so potentially at least one of our Division 1 teams still alive. Can't really get a peek at any of the Division 2 teams at this point, so we don't really know how they're doing, but definitely some improvement to be made here. Definitely teams need to lock back in and make sure that they're ready to go for drop number 2. Let me actually get an update here. Let me see if I can find anything. Division 3's drop started pretty much the same time as Division 2, so I would anticipate that drop here is gonna close out. As we do see the lobby code just got posted for Division 2, so that lobby is closed. Just gonna have to wait a couple minutes here to get that drop started. We'll take a quick look into drop Division 1 and see if that drop has been made live. Nothing yet, so I would assume that some action is still going on. But with that being said, we're going to take a quick step away as we wait for these drops to start. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Grab a drink, grab some food. We'll be back in probably about a minute or two. Okay, we are back. I told you to be quick. I apologize. Just had to run very quickly, but we are back. Hope you guys got some food. Hope you guys got something to drink. Hope you're ready for more Fortnite action. Still have a couple minutes here to wait until our drop number 2 gets kicked off, but very intense action we will be witnessing here very, very soon. And of course, we are ready. We're excited. Hopefully, things go a little better for this drop than they did last drop. As you guys know, just in case you are just now tuning into the stream, welcome, first off. And let me explain to you very quickly. We have 3 teams that we watch. We have a system where we rotate through each team. Every week, team moves up till you get to the top, and then you get bumped off the following week. But let me introduce the teams to the people just tuning in. We have Caffeinated Hamsters as our primary team. That team is composed up of Evan, aka VH Campbell 13, and Cam, aka Kiki. Our secondary team, or second team, is SniperTimeTV, and that team is composed up of Cam, aka the Sniper, and Sean, aka Sean Time TV. And last but most certainly not least, we have Famous People, and that team is composed of Brady, aka BL Mace, and Miko, aka SRW Miko. So a lot of good teams, a lot of good Fortnite action we will have underway just in about a minute or two for you guys. So if you still haven't, obviously you're gonna miss the me yapping your ears off. But if you still haven't run, grab your food, grab something to drink, maybe some popcorn, whatever it is, maybe a little snacky, whatever it is you need to do to make sure in just a few minutes you guys are ready for this drop to get started. Division 1's drop code has just been put on the board, has just been made alive. Division 2 and Division 3 should be starting in another minute or two here. So obviously, as soon as these drops get live, we'll switch screens on over for you guys and, of course, start the action. And in case you missed the first drop of Fortnite tonight, good performances, definitely not kind of the expectation that a lot of the teams have here for themselves. A lot of the teams here have very high standards and put themselves in a very high expectation area. So don't think a lot of the teams are going to be satisfied with how this drop 1 went. Hopefully they're able to kind of relog back in and refocus to perform a little better drop 2. And again, with no Coach Kyle being here tonight, it means that they don't have their lead coach kind of able to instruct them mid-game and also in between games, notice anything, make micro adjustments, whatever that may be. But also, it also means no coach interview. I know, it breaks my heart. No Coach Kyle to come up here and get to talk to at the very end of stream for you guys, but that is okay because he's not feeling well, so we insisted that he takes care of himself and that you guys will just have to listen to me yap for the whole hour, 2 hours, however long the stream is. Should be getting going here any minute now, as the time has hit. Just waiting for the loading screen to pop up. Let me see, there shouldn't be any updates. Let me just double check for you guys. No updates, no nothing. So Division 2 should be starting any minute now. As we wait ever so patiently for this drop 2 to get underway. And probably just another couple seconds. Again, our teams tonight, we have 2 Division 2 teams and 1 Division 1 team. Both Caffeinated Hamsters and SniperTimeTV are our Division 2 teams. So tuning in to both of them as our primary and secondary, making sure that they don't have a bad drop by any means. Obviously, just casting a match, hoping that they don't have a bad drop, but really hoping that these teams don't run into each other and we see a little cross VHCH action going on. Obviously, that's something we've seen in the past, especially as teams really start to make it to later in the drop, but something we like to stray away from early on in the drop. And of course, our Division 1 team being a famous people tonight, our 3rd team. So hopefully they're able to lock back in, bring the reins back in, and make sure that those guys are ready to go. And now, wow, I guess not going to say anything yet until I've been given the okay to finally make that announcement, but these teams are competing for a lot more than just a banner. There is a lot of stuff on the line, and I know these teams are going to be hungry, especially these Division 1 teams have to be aware of what they're competing for, have to make sure that they are ready to go, that they are putting their best in and week out, because, well, there's odds of something greater on the line. But with that being said, Division 2 has started, so let's tune in and see how Caffeinated Hamsters are going to kick us off. Currently watching Evan's perspective. We flip-flop back and forth a little bit between Evan and Cam last drop in this Caffeinated Hamsters team, making sure we get a chance to watch both players' perspectives. Gonna start with Evan here and drop 2. And it looks like here these guys are going to go maybe to the name PR that they wanted to go last drop. Let's see if maybe an adjustment is made. As we do see the visual audio indicator pop up with some other gliders. Someone very close to Evan. Actually, right above and in front of him. Evan's going to track to see if that player is going to go to the same spot. And at this point, it looks like they are. No, it looks like that player is actually going to dip out. No, never mind. And it looks like Evan and Cam are going to land at Kappa Kappa Factory. Wow, that is quite the name, if I do say so myself. Potentially at least another player, if not another duo, landing here. So these guys are going to have to try to group up, loot up quick, and make sure that if they want this engagement, to try to maximize their situation here. And we actually saw similar drop last time, where these guys were just caught with an early engagement, but they actually came out victorious, of that drop, or of that engagement last drop. So really interesting to see how things go here. And Evan actually sees him. Cam takes some shots. Don't know if any landed. We actually saw him crash pad up. And Evan takes a shot and finds a big knock there on one player. Although Evan takes a lot of damage. The elimination does get secured. Evan takes a big shotgun shot, and Cam now has a lot of work to do. Can he find it? And no, he cannot. As Caffeinated Hamsters, just as quick as they rise, is as quick as they fall. And their night is over. So let's tune in to SniperTimeTV and hope those guys are doing a little better. And that has got to be a little discouraging for Caffeinated Hamsters. I know that those guys are going to be dissatisfied with that drop. So, at this point, going to have to try and put it behind them. Going to have to try and focus up, continue to play the game. Really, honestly, I would recommend analyzing the VOD at this point. Those guys definitely need to figure something out. So that way next week they can come in fresh, come in ready to go, and can have better performances. Because that is just not what you want to see, unfortunately. And currently watching SniperTimeTV, who's actually in the same division and drop as Caffeinated Hamsters. Obviously still alive at this point, but farming up quite a bit. And of course we have our third team of famous people. Those guys haven't even dropped yet. So we're going to keep watching SniperTimeTV until famous people drop and get in their way here. And actually, Cam takes a shot there. Sean fires some shots back. Maybe in an engagement that these guys don't want to be in. If they decide to not disengage, they're going to try and take it here. Have to be careful because they don't really have height. And Cam falls early. Sean, not a lot of health himself, takes a big shotgun shot there. Tries to launch it, but can't find it. He is able to get out of that storm, so he is able to keep himself alive. Cam, though, crawling, trying to regroup with his teammate. But Sean under a lot of pressure, and unfortunately, just like that, SniperTimeTV is eliminated as well. And luckily for us, famous people are just now starting their drop. Unluckily for SniperTimeTV and Caffeinated Hamsters that they are already eliminated from this drop 2. And definitely not how either of those teams wanted those drops to go. Honestly, again, man, we saw it happen to Sniper Time last week, and we saw it to happen to them this week too. That's just an engagement that they probably should have disengaged from. They probably should have gone out, but instead try to take it in a bad situation, and it pays, and they pay the price for doing that. 2 not very good drops from our Division 2 teams, as those are definitely going to hurt their place in the standings. But that just means we get a whole Division 1 drop game to watch, and it is nobody but famous people. And let's see if Brady and Miko can last and maybe get a victory royale. Actually, it looks like Brady and Miko get landed on as well. Brady takes a couple shots, only hits for about 9 damage though. Shotgun long range is not a good combo. And Miko actually falls already. Brady's going to have a lot to do here. Maybe just a disengage. Brady going to try and get some materials. We're not seeing a disengage. Brady's going to try and take this fight. Loadout not bad, but doesn't have a lot of ammo at this point. Can't really afford to miss shots. Although, what a huge knock there from Brady as he laser beams one of them, but takes a lot of damage in response with only 43 health. Brady's going to have a lot to do. Maybe a little greedy. Goes for the kill. Gets a little bit of that health siphon from getting that kill. Actually puts him all the way back up to 100, but just like that, he quickly goes back to 39. Misses the reboot card and now decides to take the disengage and tries to get out. Wants to make sure he doesn't get followed, and it looks like maybe he is. Gonna drink his singular mini. Gonna hope for some good loot in these chests, as he is able to find some more minis here. So gonna buy him a little bit of health back, and he finds a health back. Wow. RNG gods are in Brady's favor right now. Want to keep him alive in this drop, because now Brady's got a very important decision to make. Is he gonna try and go back for that reboot card? And finds a big there too. Wow. No. Going the other direction. Maybe wants to just loot up a little bit more before having to go back. And Brady does find a launch pad. Actually finds 2. So gives him really good options to get in and out pretty quickly here. That is what he does decide to do. Although it looks like some shots on the visual audio indicator, excuse me. And he's going to mark that reboot card. He's definitely going to try and go for it. Just has to make the decision of when. Looks like maybe he's going to try and close some of that distance manually on foot. Gonna get a bunch of metal here from the crane. And gonna be able to loot that chest here as soon as he breaks it. And finds the Flowberry Fizz. That's a great item for Brady to have at this point. I'm gonna take the porta potty and see where it takes him. And it actually does close a lot of the distance there for that reboot card. Again, Brady still has 2 launch pads, so he could close this distance very quickly, but time is of the essence, and he's gonna have to make a decision stat. It looks like he is gonna go for it. Destination seems to be clear as he does secure it. And is now going to use the combination of the launch pad and the Flowberry to really get height on this redeploy and just buy himself a bunch of time. Looks like Brady's going to try and go for a pretty isolated reboot van here. He's going to box himself in and put down a launch pad so he's able to get out as soon as this reboot goes off, which is honestly such a big brain play from Brady. And it looks like even though he does use that launch pad, he doesn't actually use it to go anywhere. Just decides that this is a free location here. Going to loot up and allow his teammate to loot back up, get back in the game. And now because they were able to secure that beacon there, gonna get a bunch of loot and gonna get an outline of where the chests are for this little unnamed POI. And they have a launch pad, so this is honestly a really good spot for these guys to be at this time. At this point, a lot of loot at their disposal. Falling a little bit low on mats. You would anticipate that these guys are going to pick apart some of these barriers and these fences here just to try and get anything that they can at this point. And Brady actually spots another duo. Has to be careful at this point again. They really do not have the mats to waste. Brady wants to build himself a bunker up on top of this building, but it actually falls right down. Maybe going to try and get back some of the mats that he just used, but how much time will he actually have here? As Brady's pretty much gone from the unnamed BOI. Sean, though, or Miko, excuse me, still in it. And Miko maybe needs to be careful here. I don't know if that other team saw the builds come through. They'll need to be careful of the other duo, but it looks like Miko is going to join Brady. They are really using just as much time here as they can to farm as many mats as they can. And this is what you expect to see out of a Division 1 team. Uses the time that they have effectively here. And that's exactly what they're doing. So it looks like maybe Brady's going to go back into the little bunker that he built. We don't see anything about the other team yet, so maybe just going to chill. Actually, might have spoke too soon. We see Brady ping. I believe only 2 of our Division 1 teams are left alive, one of them being Famous People. And this is what Brady and Miko do so well. Make the game simple. Don't force unnecessary actions. These guys are just going to sit, wait, play the game that they want to play here in this little bunker. They're still in circle, so really don't have to worry for at least another minute here. Nothing on the visual audio indicator either, other than the island spawning. Or no, excuse me, that's a rift pod dropping in. Are you taking a little look at the map, maybe trying to predict where the storm, or where circle, excuse me, could go? But again, still here a solid 20 seconds before storm even hits the circle that they're at now. So these guys have a lot of time to just relax and play the game that they want to play. Not a lot of action though going on. Typically, when we do an ideal world, when you see playstyle like this, you hope that other teams are killing each other and taking themselves out, but really nothing going on in this drop. We still have another minute and a half for that storm to get to the circle. So these guys have a lots and lots and lots of time. Because they might have to worry about potentially someone rotating in as storm is closing here, but other than that, in a very good spot. We're actually seeing these guys pretty much stand back to back or caddy corner from each other, making sure that no one's in front, no one's behind. They're trying to get as much intel as possible. And I think Brady saw someone right there. It looked like, at least from my eyes as well. We saw the ping go up, then instantly get taken away, so maybe not. But storm has officially closed in onto that new circle. Let's see what pull of these guys get. And wow, they are still in circle here, so really just able to hang on, not need to move a muscle for probably another 2 minutes here. We have 30 seconds till the storm even starts to close in, and I would anticipate in at least another minute. So, still a lot of time that these guys are able to just wait, get intel, play smart Fortnite here. And we see another minute here, so. And now, really, they have to worry about someone rotating in from Storm, as they are right on the edge of the circle here. Brady does have 6 crash pads and the launch pad, so really, if they need to get out and get out, like get across the map out, they do have those options. 31 players left. 29, not, oh, excuse me, 30 players left. 28, and not counting Brady and Miko here, so still a lot of options. But now we're starting to see some of that action happen, which is, again, what we talked about. In an ideal world, this is what Brady and Miko are hoping for, is a lot of this action to be happening while these guys are just able to chill. And really don't have far to go. Have 50 seconds to do it. I would maybe even anticipate that they are going to wait until Storm starts to move before they even think about rotating. As we do see a couple people redeploying, maybe launch padding over their base here, but no shots fired for Brady and Miko. Just want to continue to play the slow game here, try to secure a solid placement, something that they really didn't have last drop, so definitely being aware here. And looks and sounds like our Division 3 team, which they did, got a victory royale. A huge shout out to those guys that were able to secure a victory for Mulholland Camp Hill. First one, and it seems like forever at this point, but let's see if Brady and Miko can follow in their footsteps. As again, waiting until the absolute last second. Brady's going to use a crash pad here. Going to Flowberry Fizz as well. And there they go. What a big brain play there from Brady to maximize their momentum to secure exactly where they want to go. And man, do they get distance. And now they're able to build themselves up here and be in a great situation as the bunker is up again. And even though they have quite a ways to go to that new circle, that is totally fine. Not a lot of resources was used to get to where they are now, so just have to be careful here. 22 players left, 20, not counting Brady and Miko. A couple of shots. Brady takes on someone flying through the air. Only lands one, though. Only hits for 33. Trying to combine on someone else flying through the air. Can't find any, at least on the side of Brady. Don't know if Miko hit any. Miko actually takes some shots. Someone up in the tree. I'm going to have to try and regroup here, as Storm is shrinking. And these guys are going to have to think about moving here soon. It looks like Brady wants to do it now. As again, we're going to see this same technique using that Flowberry Fizz, using the crash pads here to maximize distance. Brady tries to find a cheeky shotgun shot from someone miles above him. Doesn't actually do any damage. Although finds a big 64, finds a knock out of the air. What shots from Brady. And let's see if they can crash on this team, and maybe they can find another elim here. And at this point, these guys have to be aware of all of their surroundings and the other player that's still right next to them, as they do have a numbers advantage, so they maybe could here just find a jump, but have to be wary of the third party. And it looks like that's what they're going to do. Brady's going to break right into the box, and they are able to find the elim. Great secure kill there. And team wipe on the side of Brady and Miko, as these guys are now taking the game by force and maximizing their placement here. There are 19 players left, 17 not counting Brady and Miko. And with 3 kills, you have to be loving this drop 2 from famous people. That circle is closing. Storm is closing in, and man, is that circle getting smaller and smaller by the moment here. It looks like here we're going to see the crash pad maybe a little miscalculated as Brady actually hits the crane. And now the guys are a little separated at this point. Need to make sure that they're able to close that gap, and they do. Brady does take a couple shots there on other players. Oh, a huge 26 damage there. We don't know how low that player is, but that was White's. That player's got to be low. Maybe just another rogue bullet or two could find an elim there. But at this point, we are in the end game. Brady and Miko need to make sure that they are keeping a close distance with each other, and that they are not over complicating anything. As Brady does take the top off his box. Sees someone jumping in behind him. That's not taking any shots. A lot of footsteps going on around them though. Miko going to want to put some pressure on another build. And it looks like they're going to crash pad here. Right into a lot of action. Brady takes a lot of damage. We don't know where Miko is. Miko's right by. Brady's going to Flowberry Fizz, try to get himself back up. And make sure Miko's back up as well. He is able to get himself back to 200. Has to drop a little bit of ammo. Still a lot of mats here, at least for Brady. Need to be careful of that storm. Wow, players right above them. Really good play here from Brady, as Miko's doing his best to close the gap, and he does now. Putting some pressure on another team. Although Brady takes a lot of damage, goes down to 37 health. Miko takes some as well, but not nearly as much. And Brady's got no heals left. Just going to launch pad up and try to buy some time here. But Miko's down there by himself. And just as we said it, just as I was about to switch, he gets knocked and eliminated. And now Brady just hoping that he's able to buy as much time and get a good placement here for his team. Someone tries to take him out midair. Luckily, Brady is slippery and is able to avoid all of those shots. Someone very close Brady has to be careful at this point. Gonna break their build. Finds himself in a little bit of a rough spot, but is able to build out of it. 25 health left. 7 players left, 6 not counting Brady. He sees someone right in front of him. He's going to use the bush as natural cover here for a second. Going to try and find a shot, and he does. He finds another, but it's not enough. And now he's in a bad spot. Somehow, still at 25 health, hasn't taken a drop of damage since he's been there, but just like that, unfortunately, he is gonna fall. But what a 4th place finish for Famous People. A massive second drop there. 4th place with 3 kills is a phenomenal way to bounce back from a not ideal drop 1. And honestly, you have to shout out Brady there. Just really maximizing the placement points, really maximizing anything that he can do to keep his team in it. And just what a phenomenal minute there we saw from Brady. He goes down to 25 health and doesn't take a drop of damage for what seemed like forever. Realistically, probably not that long, but wow. This was much more that I could do. So huge shout out to him. Huge shout out to all of our teams tonight. Congratulations. Definitely some better drops we saw in drop 2 than in drop 1. So until next time, believe it or not, we will be alive tomorrow with a new face up here. So tune back in tomorrow for some Overwatch. And until then, actually, it looks like I am going to get to talk to Brady a little bit. It's like he's going to come up and do a post-match interview. And here he comes, the man himself, BL Mace, aka Brady. How are you feeling after that astonishing, maybe last minute of drop 2 there?
I don't know. That was really chaotic there. I did not know what to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to ask. You were on 25 health for what seemed like years, maybe even more to you, because you were obviously in the moment doing it. What, if anything, is going through your mind? What do you what's going to the fingers? What are you telling yourself to do in those moments?
I'm just trying to not have any angle for anybody to shoot me, because if they shoot me, I'm dead with 1 shot.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw there, right when that circle started to close, as things really started to get chaotic, we saw you Flowberry Fizz and then launch pad up. Can you talk to me a little bit about what the thought process was on that?
So then everybody on low ground wouldn't be able to shoot me. The only team would be high ground, and then they wouldn't focus on kills down below.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also help improve your placement points as well. I mean, obviously, I forget how many teams. Yeah, I forget how many teams were alive at the time that you did it compared to when you fell and got 4th. But definitely an interesting idea there. And I want to talk a little bit. We see you and Nico here being a new duo, but right there at the very end, obviously we know, and you said it yourself, things get chaotic. What are you guys doing together to make sure that you guys are staying together, that comms are on point, that the distance between you guys is never too great, that you're able to keep those things going and to be on the same page?
I think really what we tried to do was just have to have one person in the back so nobody is coming from behind us, and then one person in front to lead the way.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously it worked out for you. I mean, again, not a victory royale, but a solid 4th place with 3 kills, I believe. So much better drop 2 than drop 1. And I wanna close it off here with, obviously we saw drop 1, maybe not ideal, obviously not the same of drop 2. So is there anything you guys are hoping to improve on to kind of nip in the butt for next week as we get ever and closer to playoffs?
Try and secure that drop spot, because we've been contested off spawn those 2 games.
Yes, absolutely. And obviously we saw drop 2 when you guys were able to secure that drop spot, and it worked out for you. Even though maybe things didn't go ideal at the beginning, you were able to turn around and have a much better game. So congratulations on a 4th place with 3. Obviously we're hoping to see that you guys jump up in the standings a little bit and continue to do well. So we'll watch you guys next week, and good luck on your future endeavors. Alrighty. So that being said, again, tune in. Oh, never mind. I'm actually gonna have Coach Connor come up. Hello, Coach Connor. Obviously, you kind of taking the reins of Fortnite tonight. Obviously, I know that's not your most comfortable game, but talk to me a little bit about what you saw and how you're feeling after some of these drops.
There's a few drops that kind of went out a little earlier than we would have liked.
Of course.
That's just simple mistakes that can be fixed really quickly.
Mhm.
Very, very proud of some of the kids, though. We got really far. One of our Division 3 kids got a victory.
Yes,
So that
absolutely.
was really exciting to see. And then Brady getting fourth
Yep.
pretty much from a very, very rough ending there.
Mhm.
Still getting a fourth is really good. So very
And
proud.
I want to know, obviously, again, we know that you're not the main Fortnite coach and your experience is not with Fortnite, but having experience just in very highly competitive games, very stressful situations, is there anything that you were telling Brady in those moments when he's, again, 25 health and just trying to stay alive?
In that moment, it's kind of just you want to realistically play your life as long as you can
Mhm.
because you want to get placements. There's very low chance you're going to win on 20 health,
course.
in a dream.
Yep.
So it's really just play your life, and if you can sneak in a kill here or there, go for it. But mostly just focus on getting the zone and staying alive.
Absolutely. And finally here, again, we know Coach Kyle isn't here. Obviously, hope he's feeling better soon. But is there anything, any notes, anything that you're gonna take to him and say, hey, here's the good things that happened, here are the bad. What are you guys gonna move forward with to continue to improve placements here?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the big things is fighting early. A lot of the kids that died early in the matches got into fights and then they got shot by another team or they just weren't ready for it. And it's
Mhm.
just, if you're not ready for a fight, just leave.
Yep.
You don't have to take a fight.
Absolutely.
And that's good thing is the teams that did place really well weren't fighting early. They were
Mhm.
waiting until the late zones to start getting kills. That way you already get the guaranteed points
Yep.
from placements.
Absolutely. Well, Coach Connor, thank you so much. Obviously, it's an honor to
Yeah.
have you up here, and I believe hopefully we'll have you up here tomorrow with our guest caster. Is we'll actually get to watch some Overwatch, which
Yeah.
I'm excited for. Not that I know anything about the game, but I hope you're excited for it.
Yeah.
And well, we'll hopefully see you tomorrow.
Definitely.
All right, thank you.
Have a good night.
All right. So again, with that being said, make sure you guys tune in tomorrow for some Overwatch 2 action. Not by myself. I will be behind the camera tomorrow. We'll have an unfamiliar face up here for the first time, but that's okay. We're going to see how things go, and hopefully they go well. So from myself, Coach Christian, and everybody here at VHEL Camp Hill, thank you guys so much, and good night, everybody.